What's up guys, before I get started with the video, I just wanted to say thank you to everyone for helping me reach over 3,000 subs. I just saw that I was over 3,000 a couple days ago and it means the entire world to me. I'm so happy that anyone actually goes out of their way to watch my videos. It's still baffling to me. Like, I know I say this quite often, but you guys don't understand. Like, I wake up every day thinking, how do people spend like 30 minutes of their day watching one of my deck profiles and then responding so well to it and giving me advice and giving me tips and everything that falls just under that category, and it genuinely just means so much. So thank you to everyone out there who does go out of their way to watch these and enjoys them, and to anyone that watches any YouTubers videos. I mean, DM073, Cody, Luca, even the Forcible US team, of course, which was like the original YouTube team. I'm sure they're just as grateful as I am, and I'm pretty sure they verbalize it just as much too. So I just in this Forcible family we've all created, I just want to say thank you to everyone. So this is going to be the story of SKL. It's the wrapping it up, getting 2 Twilight Wonders, so it's going to be kind of like the end result of that. So I hope you guys enjoy. So Alice and Faria are on their way to Yggdrasil, which is where there's this specific hill that everyone wants to meet up. It's like the exact center point of where all the lands meet. And from a distance, Alice notices that there's like this figure coming really quickly towards them. And for a moment, they feel a little worried because it doesn't seem to be slowing down by any means. And then you slowly see that it's actually just Persea on one of her, her 4 Sacred Beast Tiger. And she's just coming straight for them. And Faria kind of knows that Persea is really quirky and really just wild, and so she kind of tells Alice, no, you probably want to get out of the way. And Alice is kind of just confused, there's no way that this, she's gonna not slow down. And so Faria kind of moves to the side a little bit, and Alice just gets completely run over by the Sacred Beast and just falls down on her butt. And it's super hilarious because Persea, I've mentioned this a lot, that she's just like Fu from Naruto. For anyone who knows the Naruto universe, that's the insect tailed beast Jinchuriki. And she's very quirky, really fun. She just wants to make friends. And Persea kind of has that same mood to her. So once she rams into Alice, she kind of, tells her, you should really watch, where you're standing, because if there's a giant army of beasts running towards you, you should probably watch out. And Alice is still kind of really confused, did she just really run me over? This random girl just literally hit me with a tiger. And so Persea stops to introduce herself and says, hi, I'm Persea. I rule the beasts of this world, and she's one of the 7 kings. Alice introduces herself to her as well, and they kind of have this funny moment of, Faria is just kind of shaking her head, saying Persea would, and Alice is just still pouting, really upset about what happened. So after they've all become acquainted, their destination next becomes to meet up at the Yggdrasil hill. So when they reach the hill on Yggdrasil, the other 7 kings have already met up. Persea, Alice, and Faria are the last to show up, and Valentina kind of gives Faria this kind of angry yet weirdly deceiving look, saying well, Faria, you and Persea are late. And Alice, of course, is kind of creeped out because Valentina's saying this to Faria, but she's staring straight at her. And of course, we know that Valentina has this weird obsession with Alice and how she just wants to own her for some reason. And so Faria apologizes for it and says, well, Alice, you have the floor. Make the announcement you want to make. You're talking to all the 7 kings now. We have to get this message across of why we had to gather here and why this is so important. And so Alice begins to tell the 7 kings that there's someone from another world who's hopping between worlds, chasing her down. And he's working with someone who's a lot more evil than even that person is. And she can't seem to remember his name because her memories seem to be kind of fading. But she's 100% sure that this is the next world that he's going to target because he's following her here, and that it's definitely going to be sometime soon, so that they need to prepare to be able to take them down, and the only way they can do that is if they all work together. As she's having this conversation, it seems like there's another figure coming from far away. It's kind of spawning from a distance. And at first it was Persea, and they had really kind of this no reason to worry because they couldn't really tell. But when this figure is appearing, Persea kind of gets really uneasy, and the animals with her start to get really uneasy too. And it actually ends up that the person who's actually showing up is Blazer himself. And he finally tracked them down, and all the 7 kings are here at Yggdrasil. So the interaction between this is really weird because they can see that something's wrong with Blazer. He seems to be kind of lifeless in a way more than ever, and he seems to be evil, which has never been a problem before because they already, of course, know that he's evil, but he kind of has no sense of emotion in his face, and he's just like here to destroy them. And so Faria, Persea, and Alice say that they're going to fight him, and that there's no way they're going to let him try to take over this world. And so the other seven kings just kind of stay back, and they think like, okay, you know, they can handle this because it's 3 against 1. So Faria readies her weapon and starts attacking Blazer. He's able to dodge all of her attacks, but she's also able to parry all of his. Alice uses her Phantom Board to become a knight, and Persea uses her horn to summon all of the 4 sacred beasts. And as they're fighting Blazer, they realize that he really is lifeless and there's no emotion to him. He tends to have no memories. Alice can't tell if he can even tell that it's her. He just knows that he has to kill her, and so they're totally under the influence that he's controlled, and that whoever's playing the strings in the background just wants Alice to die. And as Faria attacks Blazer with her final attack to finish him off, Blazer gets cut down and falls on the ground, but just kind of slowly starts standing up like nothing's wrong with him because he's being totally controlled. And he starts charging this giant attack in his hands with just like balls of energy and jumps straight towards Alice. And Faria knows that what Blazer is attempting to do is like this kamikaze attack that'll just kill them both because he's just being controlled and it doesn't matter if he lives or not. And as he's about to hit Alice, all these dark spears just fly inside Blazer and just immediately kill him. And he falls to the ground and just dies. And out of nowhere, Dark Alice comes down, and she's introduced as just this girl who's wearing Twilight garb, and Alice is just baffled at why this girl looks exactly like her. And she has a cat with her, and she tells the cat, "You can eat him if you'd like." And the cat goes down to Blazer's body, notices that there's just no essence or energy left in it, so she just completely ignores it and comes back. And Alice at this point is just like struck with all this confusion of how this girl is just so much like her. And Dark Alice says, "You know, Alice, I know you know who I am. You can remember, can't you? I'm you." And she says, "I'm from another world and I'm here to do what you couldn't do." And so she still has the intention of killing Blazer, and she doesn't seem to be working for the dark side, but she has no interest in working with any of the 7 kings. And so she summons a shadow barrier to surround everyone with, and the shadow barrier weakens everyone's powers. And so the 7 kings ready to fight, and Rezzard is completely like shocked at the fact that Dark Alice is summoning all these shadows. He feels as though he's lost his grip on death and just isn't paying attention to the fight because he's almost lost in how evil she is and how just great her power over death is. And so he's the first to get consumed by her power, along with Melgus, who tries to fight her. And since his last battle with Faria, he still hasn't regained all of his strength back. So they both get turned into shadows, and you can see actually in the Dance of the Shadows art, these two are actually Melgus and Rezzard. It shows them get consumed and just turned into shadows, and so she summons them to then fight against the other 7 kings. So Rezzard and Melgus are now on Dark Alice's side, and she has this crazed look on her face, and she's just ready to kill them. Arla tells Faria, Persea, and Alice that, you know, Gloria has always been really good to Armala, and that he'll stand by their side. So he goes to fight, and Maribel tells Machina that she wants him to retreat, but Machina says that their chance of retreating would only be successful if they were to try to leave together, because logically it makes sense for them to work together. But Maribel wants Machina to escape because inside the shadow barrier she can't operate at her normal capacity. And the only one that seems to not mind what's going on, or the only one that doesn't seem to be being attacked by the shadows that she's already created, or the shadows that she's created, is Valentina. And Faria immediately notices that the only reason this could be is probably because Valentina's working with Dark Alice, and she tells her, you know, "Why are you the only one not ready to fight? You're not really doing anything. You're being totally just calm in the situation." And she tells her, you know, if the whole world is destroyed, that includes Shangri-La also, that means you're going to be destroyed also. And Valentina kind of just smirks at her and just doesn't really pay her any mind because she knows that she has no worry in this. And so Dark Rezzard and Dark Melgus attack all the shadows. Arla and Machina are the next ones to fall, so they both just get killed and turned into shadows. Maribel is now left with Persea, and the shadows just continue to fight them. And the cat's just eating one corpse at a time, turning them into shadows. And Maribel tells Persea that, you know, the only successful route now is to escape. Faria knows that this is kind of like they're doomed to lose if they stay, but there is no choice because they can't leave the barrier, and the only way to be successful would be to get out of the barrier. And so Faria rushes in to attack Dark Alice, as Dark Alice is going straight for Alice. And you can see in the final word art that Faria is protecting Dark Alice, and I never understood why she's smiling. I don't know if you could see it, but she literally has a small smile on. And her flavor text says, "Alice, don't worry about me, run." And Faria tells Alice that, I'll protect you, just get out of here. She uses the power of her Excalibur to engulf Alice in like and shoot her through the barrier to the lake where they first met. And so Alice is warped out. Dark Alice is right about to finish Faria, and the shadows start attacking Maribel and Persea. And Persea uses her 4 sacred beasts to protect her, and they sacrifice themselves to make sure that she survives, and Maribel is safe as well. And Dark Alice just ends up using her shadows and just killing Faria off as well. So all that's left at this point is the 4 sacred beast energy that has remained, Dark Alice, her cat, and Valentina. So Persea is able to survive. She becomes, of course, the Beast Queen in hiding. She's part beast, and it's not explained of why. Maybe the 4 sacred beasts, in order to sacrifice themselves to save her, might have fused with her. You can see, it's going to be a little hard to see in the art itself here, but on her hand, she kind of has this weird little symbol that I don't remember seeing on her hand before. It might be like this weird kind of fusion she's done where their power is now within her. Maribel has sworn to kind of avenge Machina, and that their next goal would be to attack Valentina and Dark Alice and get revenge for what has happened. And on the top of the Yggdrasil hill where they were supposed to meet, there's only one person left at the end of the battle, and that one person just, you hear her quote, "Well, you were correct, Faria. If the world was to get destroyed, then that would be trouble for me. But that's not going to be an issue because I am the world." And the only one standing at the end is Valentina, the overlord of the 7 lands. And it's actually really interesting because it's not explained of whether she betrays Dark Alice and kills her as well and just takes control of the world, or if Dark Alice just leaves because her job there is done and they're just going to go on to their next mission of whatever they might have planned. In the trailer, we did see that all of them were, of course, turned to shadows, and that Valentina does become the ruler of all of them. And so it's kind of really interesting. I can't wait to see the beginning of Twilight Wanderer to see if Dark Alice is defeated by Fairy Alice, or if Dark Alice is defeated by Valentina. We've seen the Black Ribbon art that shows Valentina kind of in a bunch of bindings. And the scorn of Dark Alice is kind of shown in the trailer as well, hovering over the black ribbon right before it happens. So it's quite possible that Dark Alice tries to betray Valentina, but Valentina's way ahead of her, knowing that that's going to happen, so she's totally prepared. So she lets herself get caught in the black ribbon to kind of make Dark Alice think she's going to win, and then she just kills her off as well. So it's really interesting to see what's going to happen. I can't wait to see the next part. I hope you guys enjoyed the ending of SKL. I know I did. I hope this little kind of quirky version of me using all the cards is actually really funny too. I try to do my best with it to make it entertaining and kind of make them swoop at each other and explain everything the best I could. So if you guys do have any questions or something wasn't unclear, make sure to leave a question or your comment in the comment section below, and I'll definitely catch you guys next time.